What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna take a look at the 2025 Hyundai Elantra N alongside the 8Y Audi RS3. Point for this video is the Elantra N the half price RS3? Starting price on the Elantra N is around 34 grand. Starting price on the RS3 for 2025 is around 64 grand. Depending on how you spec them, basically the Audi is twice the price. So is this the half price RS3 that you should consider if you're looking at something in the mid 30s? Let's get right into it. Taking a look at the performance specifications for the 2025 Elantra N, you're gonna get a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine with 276 horsepower and 289 pound-feet of torque. You can get a 6-speed manual. However, this car has an 8-speed dual clutch transmission, giving you 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds. It also has curb weight at 3,300 pounds. For the Audi RS3, this is going to feature a 2.5-liter inline 5-cylinder turbocharged engine with 401 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. This car is only a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, only all-wheel drive. Curb weight is going to be around 3,600 pounds, and 0 to 60 is 3.3 seconds. And then for the exterior styling, of course, they are very different. This is a Hyundai, so you have a little bit more basic design overall. However, for the Elantra N, it is really sporty with the contrast brake calipers, the LED headlights, got some nice black trim throughout the front, even forward-facing parking sensors. So it's definitely a sporty-looking economy car. Now, the RS3 is honestly based on Audi's cheapest car, which is just the basic A3. However, this is way more aggressive. You got the nice massive grille, parking sensors, LED headlights as well. Much larger 6-piston brake calipers with those massive, nearly 15-inch rotors versus just more standard brakes on the Hyundai. So obviously, exterior styling is significantly different looking at an economy car from Hyundai versus Audi. You have some sharp lines throughout the Elantra N, a cool spoiler with LED taillights down below, large dual exhaust with some satin black trim and red accents all throughout it. And then for the Audi, once again, just a clean looking Audi as expected with LED taillights and more gloss trim with massive exhaust tips. Starting off with the interior with an 8Y Audi RS3, this does have a pretty cool interior overall. You're gonna get soft touch plastics up on the upper dash as well as the door panel. There's ambient lighting, aluminum colored trim, Alcantara contrast stitching, and then the nice premium Napa leather seating with the red honeycomb stitching and the RS badge. You're gonna get a pretty large sunroof up above, and then there is genuine carbon fiber throughout the dashboard with that Quattro badge. Multimedia screen, very similar to what you're used to seeing for Audis. I think overall, it's a pretty good setup. You can monitor a lot of information, see basic things that you would expect. Backup camera is pretty HD as well with all of your different parking sensors. And then we have physical climate controls with a nice LCD screen. All the switchgear works very well, heated seats. You have more controls down below, wireless phone charging, a small shifter, and then storage all down below. Got really nice golf ball texture for the leather steering wheel, paddle shifters of course, different controls, and then a nice digital display up on the top. So really cool overall look. You can see a massive screen as well. You can even configure it and get the really huge tack with some more parameters on the left side. More carbon fiber on the left with some headlight controls, and an overall nice place to be with pretty good room up front. And then onto the half price Hyundai Elantra N, still a pretty good looking interior. You're gonna get still some softer touch materials, but harder plastics throughout the upper portion. There is Alcantara on the door panel and then just more basic plastics. The seats also look really cool with the leather and Alcantara, so those are a nice touch. This one even gets a sunroof up above as well. For the multimedia screen, your typical Hyundai information, so still a pretty good screen overall, really can't complain. You'll have all the nav, all those good things, and you're gonna get a cool display as well with more information. Now both cars have adjustments to the transmission, the suspension, steering, engine, and exhaust sound, so great to see in the half price car. And then you're gonna get all of your physical controls, obviously not as nice switchgear, but again, half the price. You still get wireless phone charging, the dual clutch transmission shifter, and then for reverse, you still have a nice HD backup camera with all those parking sensors. You have a nice grab handle on the far side. Again, a little bit cheaper materials, cup holders, manual parking brake, and then a really cool design on the leather wrapped steering wheel with the accents. We have nice large paddle shifters, and you can quickly go into the fun modes as well with a nice display. You can also see some of the parameters within the vehicle switching through the gauge cluster, and of course you can see more vitals and everything like that. So in the backseat of the RS3, this has a 103.6 inch wheelbase versus 107.1 inch wheelbase over in the Hyundai. So sitting here at 5'11", this is a little bit on the small side for a sedan. You know, I'm sitting here, I still have headroom. With the driver's seat set to my height, I do have knee room. There's little cutouts in here where I can actually sit comfortable, and my feet have a pretty good amount of room down below. You're also gonna get air vents. You can see 2 plugs, and we have storage. And in the center, this can seat 3 people. You do have a nice armrest with cup holders that will pop downwards. You can fit a car seat in here. It is a little on the cramped side. I can fit in front of the seat, but it is a little on the tight side. So overall, it is a fine back seat, just a little lacking with the legroom, but overall you have amenities, you know, the armrest and everything. So it's not bad, just a little on the short side for your legs. So then for the Elantra N, since it has a longer wheelbase, we do get a bit better room. Driver's seat at my height, now I have like 4 inches of legroom. My feet are good. There are no air vents back here, however. We do have 2 plugs, no storage, and no center armrest or cup holders. So a car seat will fit a little bit better where the passenger isn't gonna have any issues. So this interior has more space by far, just no amenities. So kind of a toss-up between the two. Moving on to the trunk space, the Audi RS3 has 11.3 cubic feet of cargo volume. It's decently roomy, of course, still on the small side. However, you can fold all 3 of these center seats down flat by just grabbing a latch inside the cabin. This is gonna have about 14.2 cubic feet of cargo volume, but you have a fixed strut brace in between. The whole rear seat comes down as one. Of course, you do have a larger trunk overall, but the pass-through is kind of limited due to the strut brace, so kind of a tie for storage on the 2 cars. So what can you expect driving the Audi RS3? This car has quite a lot to offer. Being an Audi, you do get that refinement with the adaptive suspension, the build quality of a luxury brand. This car rides really comfortable, really smooth. It is truly a great place to be. One thing I really like with this newest generation, obviously 2025 probably has a couple tweaks over the normal 8Y generation, but they've added the high quality Audi that you would expect on an expensive car. So ride quality is just really nice. It's a really smooth to drive car. The dual clutch around town is nice and effortless. It literally is a nice luxury car. So I like that aspect. It feels premium for the price tag for sure. And while the back seats are a little small, given this is a smaller car, you know, the front seats, this is a roomy, nice place to be. I really don't have complaints. Using the screen, both cars, there's too much information in both screens. I'm not that interested in all the tech in each car. The screen looks better, the buttons are nicer, of course. This car costs twice as much, so they better be. But it's a nice place to be, nice tech. I also like how you can have one touch of a button for either your custom setting or your performance setting. So the RS3 really lets you wake up the car with a touch of a button and get into your fun modes. The exhaust opens up, the tuning gets sharper, the suspension gets a lot stiffer, the steering gets heavier. All those cool fancy drive modes are adjustable in the RS3. So it really does translate to a luxury car and then a super high performance car. And you will hit speeds super quick. Once you start driving this car a bit more spiritedly, it is very confident hitting bumps at speeds. The all-wheel drive really maintains tractions. Those massive brakes up front do a great job. Heads-up display gives you your gear along with the tach. And this thing rockets around. This is a fast car, hanging with some of the most quickest cars out on the track. So this car really starts coming alive, keeps you on your toes, and you can tell it is a performance car. There is high performance DNA in Audi's economy car, the 3 Series. I mean, this thing really comes alive when you start ripping on it. It is fast. It gives cars that are even faster a run for the money, especially with 400 horsepower out of a 5-cylinder. It's a unique car. Not many cars, you know, if anything on sale today, has this kind of engine and power delivery. It is pretty wild. The transmission is lightning quick, and when you do then tone it back down into normal drive comfort mode, I mean, we're back into a nice, comfortable Audi. You could rack up the miles in it. Cruise control works fantastic. It's just an effortless luxury car. And then one touch of a button, you are into the fun modes. You can customize it all. And it just wakes up. This car is a blast with so much to offer, and for sub 70 grand, I feel like this is one of the coolest sedans out there. Onto the Elantra N. So half price of the RS3. Instantly you can tell a quality difference. Nothing against the actual quality of Hyundai vehicles, but you know, this feels like a cheaper car by far. It just feels a little tinny compared to the Audi. You know, the RS3 isn't perfect. I wish it had more like leathers on the dash, things like that for the near $70,000 price. But there's definitely just the road insulation, touch point quality level that is very different between a Hyundai and an Audi. You know, this has the harder plastics, it's a little noisier, you can feel a lot more in the road, it's a cheaper car. So, kind of obvious. However, it is still pretty comfortable. I mean, it's not that it's not comfortable over these bumps. I do like these seats a lot. They support me well. They are all manual versus the powers. We still have heated seats though. So it's a very well-appointed car. Hyundai does a good job giving you features that you don't get on many other cars at this price tag. And overall, cruising around town, I mean, it's a comfortable enough car for the price point. It's honestly a really nice car for the money. Also love how you have the customizable drive modes. Of course, you can play with the paddle shifters. Power, that's full throttle. Obviously coming out of the RS3 into this, this doesn't feel that fast as of right this second, as I just got out of the RS3. So power is a huge difference between the two cars. You know, 400 horsepower is a lot in a car that doesn't weigh that much more than this. From second gear, pedal to the floor. I mean, it still gets up to highway speeds without thinking. It's not that it's a slow car, it's just you get what you pay for when you go for something that is twice the price. But speed isn't everything. Handling, we have these stiffer dampers, the tighter steering, the limited slip differential for this front wheel drive system. This is fun to rip around turns. Is it more fun than the RS3? Hard one to say given it costs half as much. But I mean, it is stable, it is very flat in the turns. These smaller brakes work really well. While it definitely just doesn't have the same power to, nice little gurgles on the exhaust. It doesn't have that power to just keep pushing and give you that exhilarating speed sensation that the RS3 offers. Other than that though, I mean, it has direct steering, it has a flat body. The chassis is very well tuned, especially when you realize this is affordable. And it is still peppy enough to carry its weight at highway speeds. It's not like you are sluggish going 40 miles an hour and you can't get out of your own way. This car can very much get out of its own way, which in some cases that is just all you need on most cars. So it's got a lot to offer. The screens look super cool. It just adds to that kind of fun factor. And of course our car has some exhaust modifications, intake noises, stuff like that. So this car with the same modifications would sound a heck of a lot better. But it's a cool little car for half the price, and the fact that this has a dual clutch transmission, I think, is why this is the budget RS3 versus, you know, a WRX with a CVT. To be able to have a quick shifting dual clutch where you have the benefits of an automatic and the control of a manual is a really cool plus in this Elantra N. And when we get back and move, the shifts are super snappy. Again, it's very underpowered compared to the RS3, but again, it's half the price. You know, aside from the power differences, if this had the same acceleration, this would almost feel similar to it in terms of all-out handling. So I think that is a big selling point with the Elantra N, is the fact that the handling characteristics are up with cars that cost a lot more. But for the driving on just the fun, twisty back roads, this will probably be right up with it in terms of handling. And since it does it in a confident way, it is a fun car to rip through the turns. Does it feel like it is half the price? Yeah, it feels like a half price RS3 in many ways. It's definitely a budget car versus an Audi. But the fact that it's got the handling to where it is confident, it is fun, it has some precision things to it with these, gosh, that sounds so good. I wish I could do an exhaust on this. But the fact that it has the adaptive aspects of it like an expensive car, you know, it's a really good entry-level sporty sedan, and there's not much negative things to say about this car. And when you tone it all back down into normal mode, you know, it tones down and nice enough to be a comfortable, normal car. The dual clutch around town is fine. You do have to give it a little bit more throttle than I'm used to, so it kind of takes a little bit getting used to this transmission, but overall, there's not really any shortcomings. Seems like a fantastic budget sports sedan. So after driving in the RS3 alongside the Hyundai Elantra N, do you think the Elantra N is the ultimate half-price RS3? Honestly, I think so. It has a lot to offer with a turbo engine, you know, a compact sedan along with a dual clutch transmission. I think the biggest things that you're getting with the RS3 for twice the price, the Audi build quality, the ride quality. It is a very nice to drive car. It feels expensive. This definitely feels more like an economy car. The acceleration is also pretty mind-blowing and blisteringly fast in an RS3. It sets 0 to 60 times alongside six-figure supercars left and right. It also has lap times to hang with the big boys. Now, the Elantra N, not quite that fast, not quite as much as a performance car, but for half the price, this thing is fun. So if you're looking for a cool, sporty sedan on a budget, you're gonna get a lot in the Elantra N. It seems like a really good value, and both cars kind of have the same tech features and things like that. Still, obviously, the RS3 definitely is a very nice to drive car, has a lot of cool things to offer, and it's a very premium vehicle at the end of the day. But if you're looking for something half the price, this is a cool choice. I think the car in between these would probably be a Golf R, kind of giving you a blend of both in the $40,000 to $50,000 price range. But there's definitely some really cool cars out there without breaking the bank, and it's been fun checking out the Elantra N. So there you guys go. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content, and comment below, is this the ultimate half-price RS3?